So we're upstairs at South by Southwest, and we're here with Shiv Singh from Avenue A Razorfish. Now, you write one of the more influential blogs in the social media study space. Would really love to have your perspective on kind of the state of the industry today and maybe where you think it's going.
Sure. It's very interesting. Social media has been around a long time in a lot of different forms before. Well, it predates the phrase social media per se itself. But even with all of that, it's still in some sense early days. And the reason why I say that is, as individuals, we've figured out how to communicate and share information and share our stories with each other online, something that we've been doing from the beginning of time in the real world. Now what's changing, and the reason why it's early days in some respects, is that companies are just starting to figure out how to play in the space. And for a long time they were worried about, what happens to our brand? What happens when someone tears it to pieces on a blog or, in a YouTube video that's a mashup of some kind? And they're starting to realize and discover that they can participate in a very human, personal way and be a part of that. So in that sense, yes, it's absolutely early days. Yeah.
There's a tendency in our industry to throw around the word monetize. And every time that we try to have a dialogue, we seem to want to put in a beacon or an ad banner or an overlay. Do you think that the monetization of social media spaces is going to actually do us harm in that space and for the development of that space?
Well, I think there are two parts to this. One is we all need to earn a living. So, monetization will seep in some form because it just needs to. The other side of it is I think we all make the mistake when we think about social media as the end and that it needs to be monetized. It's really not the end. It's a means to other things. Me having a conversation with you, I can't necessarily monetize this conversation directly, but it's a means to something else that I can monetize. And the same thing applies to social media. It's online conversations in different forms, where the closest link comes to monetization, and I think this is mostly for large brands who are trying to sell or promote products on the web, is that they're starting to realize that people are influencing each other's purchasing decisions more than ever before. So it's a social influence that's happening, that's taking place. And the 30-second TV spot or the print ad campaign is mattering not as much as it used to, because I see something on a social network or on a blog that influences my purchasing decisions. So the monetization angle comes in these blogs and these individuals on the web, your friends, your peer group, the celebrity bloggers have a lot more influence. They're your marketers, they're your voice. And in that sense, yes, as much as marketing has a link to monetization, so does social media.
What do you think the biggest hurdle today is for most brands, large brands, at getting into the space for social media and being successful in that?
Yeah. Well, the biggest hurdle, I think, is they think of social media as just another channel, many of them do. That it's just like, print or TV, and they try to approach it the same way. What really needs to change, and we're seeing this with some brands doing it very successfully, is that when you're in the social media space, it's not the brand that matters, it's the faces and the voices and the people behind the brand. When I interact with a brand in the social media space, I'm not interested in that cookie cutter, single voice, consistent message, incredibly polished. I want to know about the designers who built that product. I want to know about the R&D folks who conceptualized it. I want to know about the strategists who are figuring out how to monetize it. And I want to hear their voices. And the brands who realize that they need to expose a lot more of the wonderful voices in their company to the outside world via social media are the ones that are going to win. Because when we purchase online, we're interested in hearing other people, not anonymous brands.
Yeah, we always seem to be fans of things that are very authentic and are very relevant. So really appreciate your comments here. Obviously, we follow your writing a lot and enjoy your perspective.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, and we'll see you again from South by Southwest.